the epistle of Jesus for the world today. This is what Christ would say if he were to return to the earth today. My children, I watched you in silence. I understand, maybe I waited too long, but it was necessary. The time is upon us for me to communicate with you, and I fervently hope that this time you will truly listen and absorb my words. I've looked at it for centuries. You construct magnificent cathedrals of stone, yet seem to neglect the temple of the self. I had wished you would halt this oversight. It didn't happen. I have listened to you invoke my name in countless languages and innumerable prayers, but often felt the absence of my vibrant presence within your hearts. You have lifted me up on a golden cross, but you have forgotten to understand my word, for I am the Word. I did not come to found a religion. I did not come to create a hierarchy, a spiritual empire, much less an institution to decide who is saved and who is not. I am here to illuminate what it truly means to live in genuine love, truth, and boundless freedom. I spoke of God's kingdom not as a faraway realm, but as a profound conscious state within you. Now I question you, had I been living with you in tangible form, would I have resided within palatial marble structures? Surely you know, for I would have donned luxurious attire and basked in golden surroundings. I might have summoned others to speak on my behalf, setting forth rules, judging you, and burdening you with guilt for simply being human. You have transformed my anguish into an annual reenactment, my suffering, my scourging, my demise, all for you to experience with me. Who would want to endlessly relive such moments of pain each year? Who would continuously celebrate such torment and never question why this wound is kept open? Do you truly believe I desire to memorialize my agony? I, who cherished life, who found delight in children's laughter and the grass swaying in the breeze? If I faced death, it was to demonstrate that life transcends the confines of mortality, not to be honored in perpetual agony. Suffering bears sacredness, yet it must reach a conclusion. Hence, it is the gravest sin possible. Should you require a term for it, it's that you have forgotten your essence, substituting your divine nature for an externally crafted identity. You were led to believe you were insignificant sinners, unworthy of divine grace. Yet, I imparted a different truth. You are the radiant light of the world. I never claimed you required a mediator between yourself and God. Your religion heralds sacrifice, fear, condemnation. My teachings centered on forgiveness, love, enlightenment. Reflect upon the essence of my message. You have made me into an idol rather than a friend. Placed me on a pedestal, but haven't let me dwell within you. Have you divided the world into those who are with me and those who are against me, forgetting that I have never excluded anyone? I sat next to customs officers and prostitutes, sinners and rebels, not because they needed forgiveness, but because they needed acceptance and love of humanity, of truth. If I return today, would I recognize myself? Or have you excommunicated me from my own religion? I am not the voice of dogma. I am the living breath of awakening. I am not the blood on an altar, but I am in your blood. I am the life in you, the one that cries and laughs and loves for no reason. I am not in rituals and in the moment of presence. When you embrace your loved one unconditionally, I tell you now you do not need salvation. You need to return to yourself. You must not fear God. You must recognize Him in every gesture of compassion. You do not seek your salvation in my past, but in the living fire of your truth. Those who will have the courage to break free from fear, those who will go beyond dead forms, those who will love without asking for anything. Instead, they will recognize me not in icons, but in their own being, awakened with a love that asks for nothing. I am still with you, not in religion, but in truth, not in suffering, but in life, not on a cross, but within your heart. To the priests, the ministers, and the keepers of the temple, those who claim to speak on my behalf, I don't need representatives who speak without feeling. I've never asked for palaces with golden mitres, staffs, or earthly functions. I overturned the tables of the money changers in the temple. You have forgotten, and yet today your transactions are even more treacherous because they are done under the guise of holiness. Have you turned the temple of the heart into a filthy place of selfishness and your power games? Have you put a price on the sacraments? Have you sold baptisms, monuments, and above all salvation? You've made a name, a rank, an authority, but you've lost the live fire. You are no longer shepherds of the Spirit. You are servants of a dead system that feeds on fear and guilt. You preach about the love of God, but behind the scenes you threaten hell. You talk about me, but you live like Pharisees, full of law and empty of truth. Where are you when man suffers, when he has no money for a candle? Where are you when injustice strikes? Where are you when a soul seeks light, but he's dressed in rags? I tell you now, you will no longer be able to hide it from the world. Who are you really? There will come a time when you will look in the mirror and you will not recognize yourself. Not because you have changed, but because your masks will fall. Not your religion will fall first, but the falsehood in it. The true religion, the living connection with me does not die, but the system built on lies, control and greed. Yes, when you began to believe that you carry the key to heaven on your shoulders, when you decided that people need you to reach me, alas, I tell you, you have no key. I have not given you a throne, but a basin and a cloth to wash your brethren's feet. Did you choose the throne? There's still time. You can still come back. Leave the functions, leave the power, leave the cult of the religious ego. Return to silence, to contemplation, to sincere service. Come down from your thrones and become role models. Come down from your thrones and go to the people who need you. This is your only job. I didn't ask you to love. I asked you to love. I didn't say build an empire. I said follow me on dusty roads among the sick, among sinners, not in velvet bundles. If you really love me, share the bread and do not ask for money on it. Bless people and do not frighten them with hell. Embrace him who does not believe in you, for perhaps in him you will find God. You have in your hands a sacred fire, but you have locked it in a crucible. Let them burn. Let people see it in their freedom, in their dance, in their tears. I am not in your religion. I am in the simple man who takes bread without asking who is the hungry one. I am in the mother forgiving her prodigal son. I'm in the stranger who looks you in the eye, and he tells you, are you enough? This is the last call. Choose between truth or power. Power will fall, only truth will remain. I love you, but I will not protect any wall built on fear. And if everything has to come down for the truth to be born, then so be it. And now I want to tell you something that many of you have already felt, but didn't have the courage to ask if I wasn't born on December 25th. That day was chosen by people, not by my father. It was a careful choice, not really. Do you elders of the churches know that? You chose this date to replace the old solar holidays to convert people more easily, to baptize astral symbolism under an acceptable 9 form and so on. Have you created for me a lasting tribute to sun worship that continues onward? Those who set my birth date in December did not do so for you, my people, but for power, for the assimilation of spiritual control, not out of love for the truth. My true birth took place at a time of spring, when the flocks were in the field and the sky was clear, not in the middle of winter, when the shepherds would not have been outside. I left you written, but even more important than the date on your calendar. Is this true? I am born in every soul that chooses love over fear. I am born in every heart that lights the light in the darkness. I am born into every consciousness that chooses truth, even at the cost of rejection. This is the genuine celebration of one's true birth. As spiritual shepherds of this world now explain, you are born into your true self, leaving no excuses. Running out of time? Wake up and recognize that my life was lived simply, not as a mythological legend, cut and rewritten, that I had brothers and sisters, that I traveled, I learned from many cultures, and that I was a whole, alive and free man. Have you not defended me, betrayed me, elevated me, falsified me to build a building of power on the back of my suffering? But you can no longer stop the light of truth. It rises in people, in stars, in consciousness, and this light asks you to know my real life and yourself. Finally, I leave you a commandment. No, not written on stone, but on the heart. Tell the truth and return. Essentially, you are not afraid of light. Truth will not destroy faith. It will purify it. It will flourish it. It will set it free. Who keeps silent, manipulating, denying what they know deep down. He is no longer my servant. He's the guard of a prison I just got out of. I will return not in radiant glory, but as the ignited truth that cannot be overlooked any longer. I will enter the temples again, but not through the front door, but through the hearts of those who live me sincerely. And I will ask then, the truth has set you free. Will you have the courage to speak it? Have you been wondering for 2 millennia, when will I come back? Have you looked at the sky? You have read signs. You have waited for the sound of the trumpets of war, fire from heaven, and a coming in glory, covered in clouds. Now you seek these signs more than ever, signs and wonders. But I have already told you, and have plainly told you, that the kingdom of God does not come in a visible form, for behold, it is within you. The second coming is not an external event. It will not be broadcast on television. It will not begin with explosions and the end of the world, but with the end of the illusion. The second coming is I in you, in the awakened ones, in those who choose love over fear, not being on clouds, coming into consciousness. When you feel my presence reignite within your soul, hear the truth spoken louder than doctrinal preaching, and see holiness in what you criticize. I will be near. You already awaited a king. I arrive as a reflection. You anticipated judgment. I bring insight. You expected my descent from the heavens, but I have risen within you, even if it seemed otherwise. What I would do? If I came today in a body, would you know who I am? Have you not crucified with other nails of shame and mockery in your heart? Faced with rejection, I tell you now, I would go to the squares, not the cathedrals. I would embrace the excluded, not the robes. I would eat at the table with those you call sinners, and I would ask you again to love each other, but this time truly. Your holy churches. I would enter them, not with the whip and silence, a silence so deep that true holiness can be heard beyond the hypocritical chorus. I wouldn't destroy stone churches, but I'd say, these walls are empty unless the man within them is full of life and spirit. I embody life itself. The second coming is now in every choice, in every living soul. When you love without reason, I come when you forgive what seems unforgivable. I come when you choose the truth, even if it costs you. I come. No longer wait for a specific date. No longer project on the sky what you need to ignite within. One last word to those who still have ears to hear. I am not coming to save you. You have always been saved. I only come to wake you up if you want. I'm here to show you who you are if you're ready to let go of who you pretended to be. The second coming is the first time you really see me, not in the icon, but in your own. A sincere look with a love that no longer negotiates with the truth like breathing. I am, and I am already here. Not arriving but existing, not judging but reflecting, not distant but within your heart. I loved you with an everlasting love, but do you admit that you were wrong? I came into the world, not to condemn it, but to save it from ignorance. I write to you with love, but also with firmness, because the truth is sometimes a sword that hurts when it cuts through the lie. I am telling you unequivocally, who are you to judge the heart that I have fashioned with care and purpose? Who gave you authority to separate the sheep from the goats before the time of harvest? I gave my life for all humanity, not merely those who fit into your human notions, your rigid doctrines and societal norms. We embraced the marginalized. I dined with the customs officers, touched the lepers, listened to the women about whom the Pharisees said they had no right to speak. I listened to the heart, not the label. You condemn those with different orientations, but I tell you, where there is love, sincerity, and sacrifice, there is I. It is not the body that draws the man close or apart from me, but his heart, and you still have not understood that love is not sin. You throw stones at those who look at the stars, but you forget that my Father set the stars in heaven and gave each one a name. You dismiss those with spiritual gifts who don't wear sanctified garments, yet forget my words through shepherds, fishermen, and prophets who never inhabited your temples. Do not call darkness what I have sanctified. Do not punish souls who seek me, even if their footsteps pass through roads you do not understand. Multiple paths can lead to me, and you don't know which ones they are, unless you possess eyes that see the light. Regarding the shy, gentle souls who adore the magic of the spiritual realm, who feel the presence of the invisible world and cherish creation in all its mystery, you label them as devil's companions. Who really is the friend of the devil, but he that hates and judges and reigns in my name and hath not my spirit? The devil hideth not in the heart of him that loveth, but in the mouth of him that condemneth. He rejoices when you feel superior, when you build walls instead of bridges, when you turn my love into a court and the gospel into a weapon. I said, love one another as I have loved you. Didn't I say, love only those who are like you? And if the commandment of love does not move your hearts, then depart from me, whatever cross you have on your bosom. I am with those alone, with those rejected, with those who weep in secret, because the world has made them think they are wrong. I am with those who seek me in the stars, in flowers, in books, in dreams, in symbols, and in silence. I don't just live in the cathedral, I live in living hearts. Therefore I say to you, repent of your prejudices, and speak no more in my name without bearing my spirit, and let those whom you judge meet me in freedom, not in fear. If you're to be a church grounded in love, not terror. Shepherd the lost, not act as gatekeepers and warners. In every rejected soul, there may be a flickering candle still awaiting my light to ignite it. With boundless love I remain who I am, eternal and unwavering, Son of Man. not the dogma of Jesus Christ. And certainly not Visual Basic.